Hey guys, we are here with Rebecca, the product manager at West Coast Seeds, and today we're going to talk about some exciting varieties. Tell me about Radicchio, particularly the Perseo, Natuno, and TVG1.
We can start with TBG1. It has been around for a while. The reason why I chose to add this, radicchios have a slot. They're either spring for spring planting. The majority of them are for fall planting, meaning
Okay.
you start them around solstice indoors, and then you transplant them out in 3 to 4 weeks, and then they're going to be harvested in the fall. Your location matters.
Mm,
You know how
mm,
cold your winters are. They are very cold hardy, but these varieties that are shorter maturing often can perform well in the spring. Radicchios are named after the types are named after regions in Italy where they are from.
okay. Oh, I
So
didn't know that.
TBG1 is a Treviso type from the Treviso region in Italy. Trevisos are, we call them football shaped. So they are this elongated, long shape with a gorgeous, like dark burgundy color. And what's really nice about
Mm-hmm.
Treviso types is the ribs. Those white ribs they add some more texture when you're eating them. So the ribs have some
Okay.
crunch, like a tender crunch, but they have some crunch, so it adds more texture and it has that really nice color contrast. The white ribs, they're pretty broad, and then you have that more tender, dark wine colored the rest of the leaf. So the TPG one is reasonably easy to grow because it has those short days to maturity. You can grow it in the spring, and you can grow it for that in that solstice slot for fall.
Perseo and Natuno.
Yeah, Perseo. Just Perseo is a Kyoto type. It's a round Kyoto type, and the reason I added this to our offering as well, it's small, it's fast, it doesn't take up a lot of space because it is like a large softball size. So I think it's a great variety for home gardeners to try as their first radicchio. So it has that really nice dark coloration, the white contrasting veins, but the size is really great for people wanting to try some in their garden space, wanting to buy some at the farmer's market for the first time, not committing to this, massive radicchio. So trying something small, and it's very fast to mature in 55 days, can be planted early and it can be planted late. So, and the other one I just wanted to touch on, Nicino, because that is often the most palatable of radicchios for people that are trying it for the first time. It's very fun looking. It looks like a very tall, slender romaine lettuce with this really cool sort of fairy light twirl to it. It is
Interesting.
wrapped. It's really fun to sort of unwrap it from the outer layers, and it's twisted, it's tall, and I think maybe just mentally looking at it and thinking of it as like a romaine lettuce with a little bit more bitterness in a nice way. So it's also very
Mm,
easy to grow. And another thing fantastic, it's called a sugarloaf type. Another
okay.
fantastic thing about the sugarloaf type and Natuna in particular, you can actually plant it spring through fall. So you don't
Ah,
have to
okay.
just plant it in the spring and plant it again at solstice. You can actually continue to plant it. It does have some bolt tolerance because radicchios typically don't have any bolt tolerance.
So they're part of the chicory family. Explain the taste, because okay, in my mind, they look a lot like a leafy green, so I'm picturing like lettuce and cabbage, but I assume not quite. Yeah?
They're bitter. We like to say mildly
Okay.
bitter, and different types of radicchio have different, we say like mildly bitter, but we call them pleasingly bitter. It's an acquired taste for many, but I feel like our palate is becoming more interested and accustomed to those bitter flavors like espresso and dark
Okay.
chocolate and radicchio. And you can start off by pairing them with different milder greens, or some people like to grill their radicchio.
Mm.
You can start if you're just getting used to eating them. You can do a nice fine
Yeah, yeah, like they shred it or whatever.
shred. That's the word I'm looking for. You can shred it into a salad, and you've got that really dark, intense color. Add it to some milder greens, and you have those complex flavors. It balances some spinach, some chard, some mild, sweet Asian greens in there as well. Some vinaigrette. You've got some acid from a balsamic vinegar and some olive
Mm,
oil, and
that
and
sounds
it balances that
delicious.
mild flavor, and it adds so much color. I happen to love that bitter flavor. Like, I'm happy to eat it right out in the field. But it takes some getting used to for some people. I like a
Mm,
salad that has a lot of texture. I like some very crunchy greens. I like some smooth greens, and I love the color and I love the flavor. It's so fun to build a salad that way. It's
Got
better
it.
than so that's
So
why I wanted
next
to talk about
question
it
then,
too.
any particular struggles that come with planting and growing radicchio?
Heat. Yeah. If your weather changes too quickly, they can bolt. Radicchios, while they have fantastic cold tolerance, most varieties do not have heat tolerance. So that could be the challenge. I know many commercial growers that are
Mm,
very successful throughout the country, throughout the US and Canada, growing radicchios very successfully. There is some trial and error for planting dates though, but typically the spring into the summer is the hardest. You have to choose the correct varieties. Like look in your product descriptions for varieties that can handle those spring plantings and that transition into the hot weather because some places and some years our weather changes very quickly and they
mm,
can bolt. We have open pollinated varieties, and the reason I chose open pollinated varieties to start the color contrast, typically more pronounced, the darker wine contrasting with those white ribs for most radicchios. They can be prettier, but they also can be less uniform than the hybrids that are available. And the hybrids tend to be more uniform and have better build tolerance. So,
okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for your time. That is all we have to talk about today.
sure,
So
great.